G'day guitar geeks. Today we're talking about the NeuralDSP Quad Cortex CorOS 2.0 upgrade. So grab your coffee, let's go. Okay, welcome back. So hopefully by now you've realized and understood what's required to upgrade your NeuralDSP Quad Cortex to CorOS 2.0. This is a very exciting upgrade. There's a lot in this that I really want to deep dive into and break down. So let's start by backing up our device. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the ellipsis on the top right hand side of the screen. We're actually going to go down to settings. From here we're going to go to backups, and then we're going to go to new cloud backup. So we're just going to hit that, and we're going to give it a name, and we're going to call it the date, which is 25012023.
A few moments later.
And we're back. Backup's completed. I had a couple of issues running the backup. For some reason it said timeout backing up, so if you do get that message, just keep trying. I'm sure the NeuralDSP servers are probably under some serious load right now, so absolutely ensure you do a backup, because the last thing you want to do is find out you have no presets, and if that's the case, you're in a world of hurt. I've been there, trust me. So looking at the CorOS updates, the log, let's go. So saying the CorOS 2.0 is now available via settings, we've done all that, awesome. The user manual's been updated, great, I'll update that, and so has the Windows driver. So whoever's using Windows out there, be sure to update your Windows driver. So added hybrid mode, this is exciting. So you can configure a hybrid mode via the new modes configuration on the main menu. It allows a separate mode to each row of foot switches. Hybrid mode is ideal for people who want to quickly access new presets while having granular control within their active preset by incorporating stomp mode or scene mode. Finally! You can create a hybrid mode out of any of the 3 available modes. Additionally, you can remove modes you don't use. Cab IR Global Bypass. It's now possible to globally bypass cabs, IR loaders, and neural captures. Woohoo! Globally bypass devices, which will be indicated with a bypass icon. The grid will not be grayed out. Global EQ. I know a lot of people are interested in this. I might be interested in this because I have a need. My high end in this room is a bit crispy, so I might want to just tone down everything rather than have an individual EQ on every single patch to tone down the EQ. So a global EQ has been added to out 1, 2, 3 and 4, available by the I/O screen. So tap the EQ button on the I/O screen, 5-band parametric EQ, great. Master volume knob assignment, so it's now possible to configure which outputs the master volume knob controls via the output screen. This is awesome. This is so good. Absolute overkill for me, but maybe someone will use that out there. Gain reduction meter, so seeing gain reduction on compressors now, which is really cool, except the Dual and the Chief CS3. Device versioning, so we can now see device versioning. So device versioning has been added to allow users to select the version of any device they want to use. So this allows to non-destructively provide new versions of devices where their performance has changed or sound has been improved. If an update for a device you are using is available, a green icon will display in the top right corner of its icon in the grid. In addition, the first time you open the parameter for a device with an update available, the contextual menu button will change to a green arrow. You can switch between updated and legacy versions of a device via the contextual menu in the parameter editor. Awesome. Tap tempo scene change. A scene change has been added to the tap tempo screen, allow you to configure the tap tempo of each scene. That's neat. Scene bypass state behavior. Scene bypass state behavior. So it's now possible to control whether the bypass state of blocks in scenes is saved when changing its bypass state in stomp mode, hybrid stomp mode, or via MIDI or touchscreen. So this setting is accessed via the device options. IR or impulse response loader. It's been added. Oh, great. So there's a block now specifically for the IR loader, because before you had to go in with a cabinet. So we can add that. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. So there's 4 types of IR blocks: single, mono, single stereo, double mono, double stereo. Interesting. Double IR loader blocks allow you to load 2 IRs and control them independently. You can also add an IR block by tapping IR in the directory. Awesome, awesome, awesome. New devices. This is exciting. It's like Christmas morning. Great. So there's a Mesa Boogie JP2C with the 3 channels. That's going to be amazing. So for those that don't know, the JP2C is the John Petrucci signature head. So it's a Mesa head. Not too cheap here in Australia either. But yeah, really keen to try this guy out and just hear what it sounds like. I'm hoping I can get some Mark II C+ style sounds out of it. I'm sure it will absolutely deliver. So we've got the 3 channels here of the JP2C. So that one will be a clean crunch and lead. We've got 893 new neural captures. I'm not going to go through each of these, but holy moly, this is unreal. This is what I bought the Quad Cortex for. These types of updates are what make me so happy. So in the comments section, let me know what captures you're using at the moment, which ones stand out, which ones are no good, and what do we want more of. Overdrives, we've got a Thunderpaw. Okay, so that's a Thunderclaw capture. That's also a neural capture, so that's awesome. So updated devices. With the device versioning, following devices have been updated. So this is what we were talking about before. So if you did have a patch that you really enjoyed with the old version, I'm going to assume that that's still going to work just fine. It's just that you'll have an option to update that device to the new version. So none of your presets will be affected. So this is what's been updated. So we've got the Diesels, the Soldanos, and the EVH 5150s. The Ibanez Tube Screamer TS808's been updated, and so has the Univibe, and the Morley Bad Horsey. I've heard there's been a lot of changes to the directory. So the directory's been completely redesigned. We've implemented several changes to help search, filter, categorize items to make it quicker and easier to find out what you're looking for. Awesome. Presets, neural captures, and IRs are now broken into separate categories in the directory. Awesome. Each category can be collapsed or expanded on the left-hand side. The banks column has been shrunk. Brilliant, brilliant. The number of captures you're able to store into the My Captures folder has been increased from 1024 to 2048. Brilliant. The number of user storable impulses remains at 1024. I don't need more than 1,000 cabinets. Number of user creatable set lists remains at 11. In addition, my preset set lists for a total of 3,072 presets. Swipe left functionality has been removed from items in the directory and replaced with a contextual menu. Okay, that's interesting. I did a short on that recently. When saving an item, the UI editor has changed to make more use of the bigger screen. Tags have been removed from the save UI. When scrolling to the top or bottom of a bank of presets, the next bank shows above below, so you can continue scroll. Okay, great. Scroll jump has been added. Banks have been removed from neural captures and replaced with a more robust sorting and filtering system. Sorting options have been added to the directory as well. Brilliant. Oh, this is just exciting. Presets can be sorted. Banks is now a sort option. I'm just so excited. I'm just skipping through all of this stuff here. Wow. Preferred instrument. You can now specify a preferred instrument for your preset or neural capture. This metadata can be used when searching. So, okay, nice. Capture types. When creating a neural capture, you can specify a capture type. The complete list of capture types include default, amp head, amp plus cab combo, amp, cab, and pedal. Really looking forward to the day that they can capture the fuzz stuff properly too. That's pretty exciting. That I'm sure that won't be far away. Gain is a metadata automatically calculated by the Cortex when creating a capture. Search has been completely overhauled. Now spans the entire screen. Awesome. It's now possible to create up to 5 cloud backups. So this is what I was saying before about the cloud backup not working. Might have just been a glitch. Mute bypass. It's now possible to change the functionality of the bypass parameter. Okay. Capture inputs. Interesting. The inputs used to make a neural capture have changed from return 1 and input 1 to input 1, input 2. Right. Interesting. I'll have to make a note of that. Factory presets. All factory presets have been updated to include the new metadata. Cool. Wi-Fi MAC address now shows on the hardware screen. Cool. Oh, there's so many changes. This changelog is huge. Alright, I'm not going to go through all of these. But that's awesome. That's really good news. So really happy with that update to 2.0. Alright, well let's flick over to the device and see what we see. Okay, welcome back everybody. So now we're looking at the Quad Cortex and we're just going to go through some of the feature changes. So on our title screen, let's just start by swiping down and we're now going to see that there's a global EQ in the top, which would be very handy if you had a bright room or if you had a room that was emphasizing a lot of your bottom end and you wanted to clean that up. You could just apply this to all of them, have a low shelf, low pass or a high pass or whatever type of pass you want. And that's really neat. So what other options do we have in here? Reset to factory defaults. Okay, cool. Turn it off because I don't really want it on. That's awesome because you might just want to take the mids out of everything, or you just might want to do something globally and not have to do it on every single patch. That is huge. Okay, getting back out of that. Now let's go to the user menu. Okay, so here we can see straight away we've got this center column with all of our pages for our presets, and now we've got pages here, so you can actually still see your page 1, page 2. So each of these page breaks refer to the pages, and you can see all my patch names here. What you can also do in this now, which is really neat, is you can sort by bank, you can sort by name, date added, or the instrument that they were captured with, which is super cool. I'm surprised they didn't do that from the beginning. You've got the contextual menu now, which they talked about in the notes. So if you tap the ellipsis on the top right, you now get edit, copy, cut, paste, or delete. You can still click and drag your presets around, but you can also make a copy of them without having to swipe left and right, and you can just tap on it and go through there. So getting back to the main screen, so on our IR now, so we can actually take this cab out, and here we can actually insert an IR loader. So now we have the option of a dual mono, dual stereo, single mono, single stereo. So let's go with the dual mono, And now we can actually see that this is a unique icon. We can tap that and we can actually choose 2 IR files. So now you've got an IR browser, which is mwah, chef's kiss. You can just click one in there, click one in here, and now the killer blow here is you can quick browse. You can just scroll up and down through your IRs, which is just a huge quality of life feature. We couldn't do that before. You'd have to load it and go back in and out. The UI is really optimized now. This is really, really powerful, guys. I highly recommend you get in there and play with that. So one of the other things that we've seen now is that on a patch that has a capture, like the 2203, we can actually see that the capture is a pedal type. So you can actually see now that even though it's got the neural capture logo at the bottom, we can see that it's a pedal. So part of its metadata was captured when the pedal was, or the capture was created. So you can assign pedal, amp head, all of those things that we've mentioned in the patch notes, and you can assign them so they actually have a representative icon. Alright, so now we've got the menu over here which has some changes. So now we've also got in settings with our cloud backup, so we can see all that stuff now. That's quite nice. We can see when our last cloud backups were done, and we can also have up to 5 cloud backup slots. If we go over to the ellipsis and we hit modes configuration, this is where we can actually set the preset style for the scene and the stomp mode, so you can have a combination, or the hybrid mode as they call it, which is really exciting. I'm yet to play with that, but there's also an info bubble, so you can actually get some more information out of that. If we go to the ellipsis again, we can actually go to save as. Now this gives us a new save as dialog, so let's put it in 5H unsaved, and let's give it a name, test. Go, and we can actually set some metadata, so we can pretty much tag it from here. So we just hit guitar and save, and in it goes. So that's done. That's really neat. There's also an input. I think it's a gain reduction. That's what the little line up here is. You'll see it when you have an instrument plugged in. This will move around. The other thing that I've noticed here is now, if we tap multi-out, we can actually say go to row 3 or row 4, as well as row 3 or 4. I don't think that was available before. It was either row 3 or row 3 or 4. I'm really not sure, but I think that's new. And the other thing that I really want to show you guys is inside here is probably the best thing that Neural's done for the Quad Cortex so far. If it lets me tap it. Change device, guitar. You're going to want to check out this. The Kali Johns 2C. Either channel 2 or channel 3. Channel 1 is the clean channel. Channel 2 is like a crunch. Channel 3 is like a lead. But this is the Mark II, or sorry, the John Petrucci 2C, JP2C, and it is phenomenal. I can't tell you how good this is. I'll plug it in a moment with my Jackson with Seymour Duncan JB and a Seymour Duncan 59, and you'll get to hear the chunk, but this is bananas, guys. This is absolutely bonkers. I have to show you what it sounds like. Let me flick over to the guitar. Okay guys, I've got to say this NeuralDSP Quad Cortex 2.0 update is incredible. The UI changes are great. The new amp model is just mwah, chef's kiss. It's tight, it's punchy, it's got a lot of gain. It just sounds fantastic. It's worth the price of admission alone. So I'm just going to play for a couple of minutes, get some chug on, and I'll talk to you in a moment. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more guitar-related content. This is the Melbourne Guitar Guy, and this was the CorOS 2.0 update.